Well, hey everybody, it's your good buddy 650 Eve here, and I'm back at Sills on another snowy Cleveland day for a new bike build series video. In today's video, Zak the Master Mechanic is going to install an Alpha Racing quick shift auto blip unit onto our S1000RR, and he's also going to install a brand new Luimoto seat cover onto the motorcycle, and it's going to be amazing. This, of course, is us leading up to us offering this 2021 BMW S1000RR to one of you outstanding people viewing the video. Information on how you might be able to win this motorcycle is down below in the description. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. For returning subscribers, tap that bell and you'll get notified when new content is uploaded. You know, today's not too bad. It's about 20 degrees, snow's falling, feels and looks great out here. But I bet it's nice and warm inside the shop, so let's go inside and see what Zak's up to. Zak, what are we doing today?
All right, we got a couple more parts to install today because we always have a couple more parts to install.
Yes.
We're just gonna do a couple simple things. We finally got the piece we needed to be able to install our Alpha quick shifter.
Yep.
And I'll show you why we needed this piece. And then we have the correctly numbered Luimoto seat cover, right?
Oh yeah, because the last one was number 10 and I found out that this is actually number 9.
Yeah, you did some of that math stuff that we're so good at.
Yeah, new
and
math.
you came up with that this is number 9. So
yes,
we are going to install our number 9 black and red seat cover, and it'll look phenomenal.
Yes, it will.
This is the standard seat, so it has a little bit more foam, so we don't need to put the gel insert in here.
Okay.
So we're not going to gel it. We're just going to pop the seat cover over top of the stock seat cover. That way it stays waterproof, and it seems to be working out fine so far as long as they cut it to fit correctly. So let's see if we have to pull the stock seat cover or not. If you do have to pull it, they did send in this moisture barrier. You have to try it to see how well it works, but I feel like it would be kind of hard to keep it in place. So
okay.
I like, if possible, I like leaving the stock seat cover on.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, you're just gonna put this on. There's a center mark. We've shown this a million times, this little cutout here. So that should wind up in the center. This winds up in the center. And I'm just gonna pick a spot, start, staple it, go all the way around with staples and keep pulling it until it's nice and tight and fits on there and looks awesome. But that's gonna look great on the bike, right?
Indeed.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Our Alpha quick shifter, it's pretty self-explanatory, probably one of the easiest modifications you can make. But what it comes set for, I think, is their rear sets, and as you can see, this is way too long.
Yes.
And we can't make this short enough, even if we bring this in all the way, and this is in all the way. It actually tells you on the website you need this rod to run with the stock shifter. And even though we do have a rear set shifter on here, it's still too long, so we needed this rod.
Okay.
So if we come over to their website real quick, just for in case you want to order one, you can order this from Manny at Moto Million. He supplies Alpha stuff.
Yes.
And I forgot to mention last week too, he also supplies Bren tuning handhelds if you so desire on the handheld.
Yep.
And so anyway, so you can see it's not a cheap modification. And it says right here, using the OEM footrest system, you need additional shift rod. So then if you go back to the page that shows where you order the shift rod, which is in with all these controls, here's your shift rod that you need.
Aha.
It's a shorter piece, so we're just gonna change this out. So they call it a fast shift sensor. It says that it just has better bearings than the stock one, so it's gonna eliminate play. Anytime we eliminate play in a quick shifter, that's an awesome thing.
Yes.
It will, it'll just shift faster, it'll be more accurate. I believe that this is a different type of sensor than what the stock is too. This you're actually, I think we can watch this, like, yeah, you can see this separate.
Looks like a plunger.
Yeah, and it's mechanical.
Yeah.
This is electronic, and it's just going off of this doesn't plunger like that.
Yes.
It's literally going off motion.
Yes.
So if we get this loose, if this is installed at a funny angle, you can wind up with some drivability issues because it's gonna cut your ignition. So all this needs to be Loctited and tight. Like if we installed this, see this wiggle? Because this isn't tight.
Yes.
Once we tighten this up, that wiggle's gone. With that loose, though, this would be driving nuts. Every time you hit a bump, your bike would probably cut out.
Yeah.
So just stuff you need to pay attention to, but.
And that has a cool LED light on it too, Zak.
It does have a cool LED light.
Yep. I have it on my M, and it makes a big difference. People that test ride my M, the first thing they say to me is, your quick shifter is a lot different. I'm like, yeah, it's the Alpha Racing,
All
it's
right.
not the stock.
Well, that's good that it's a noticeable improvement over it. I've had other people switch to, and no one's complained about it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They say that it is quicker. It works with the Bren tuning modification. It just makes it even that much quicker. Once you install that file, your quick shifter becomes phenomenal, and then this makes it even better.
Yep.
We'll put this in, BMW does use nice high quality end pieces at least, but so here's the amount of play we have. We're moving that arm, so that's in the transmission. So if I hold this arm, there's not much play in the stock setup. That's about it. Let's see if that gets eliminated after we get this installed. So this is our adjustment, because this is going to determine where our shifter is. We should probably make a reference since we like where it's at.
Yep, we do.
I'll just grab a tape measure, a ruler, and we can measure straight down. And that'll get us most likely close enough. Let's see, is this long enough? Nope, fail.
No.
So 14 inches at center line. So that's what we're gonna shoot for once we get this installed. This shifter is also on the HP4 Race, the very limited BMW with the actual carbon fiber frame.
Oh yeah.
That they made. So, I mean, it must have some good attributes. But the biggest, I think, is losing that plunger effect.
Yes. And it'll work with GP shift too?
Yeah, because all you have to do for GP shift is move your shift rod from this hole to one of these holes.
Okay.
So changing these holes too is also a preference of how fast it's gonna shift. Unplug this connector. This is one of the double lock connectors. So first you wanna make sure you pull out the lock and then you push down on the lock to get it out. Don't just pull out on this and then start pulling. Okay. This connector is pretty sensitive too. I've seen them break or people mishandle them. These bolts are gonna be tight. They do have Loctite on them from the factory. We put Loctite on the bottom one. All right, so test fit here, let's see. Looks like we're at about 13.5. So we're like a ½ inch off of where our shifter was. So that's gonna be way too low. And unfortunately, we're already as short as we can go on both ends of this. So I think what we're gonna do, you can see all these threads sticking out here. I'm gonna cut off a good amount of these threads from this because it's threaded in all the way to the body already. And that should give us our adjustment that we need. And I left the nut on the inside there, so now we can just thread it back over and it'll clean up the threads from where I cut them. It's like having a built-in die. There we go. And now we can thread this back into the body of our quick shifter. We'll put a drop of Loctite on there. Just blue.
Okay. No red needed?
No red needed. But these are things that like to loosen up on you unexpectedly. Start this here. Exactly what we needed. Put it right at 14. Good
nice.
thing we didn't need it any higher.
Yeah.
So now that we know that, we'll also want to go ahead and spin this out a bit and put a drop of Loctite there. And same thing up top here. Push that in, click our lock. We'll find somewhere to zip tie this out of the way because we don't need much travel on it. That's all we need. All right, so I didn't like the way that we had this wire routed and it was all looped up. So I popped off this, what's called the electronic box cover. And there is enough room in here, as you saw, I just had the box on there, that we can zip tie this cable up out of the way and it'll just look a lot neater. So
beautiful.
We can grab a couple zip ties and we'll pop that back together. All right, yeah, we do. We have a little green LED here.
Yeah.
Does it do anything when you shift? No.
It stays on.
But yeah, I like the way that this wire is routed.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, we'll put in the stock quick shifter for in case you don't like that one, and the longer piece of the longer piece of linkage rod in case you get a different rear set up.
Yeah.
And would need it. All right, we got a bunch of staples in the seat cover, nothing magical there, just went around wherever I could fit them. I used the longer staples because we're going over top of the regular the stock seat cover.
Okay.
And this thing came out fitting perfectly. I like the way the corners fit. I like how this edge fits. And if it does stretch or anything, all you got to do is pull the staples out. We can pull it tighter, restaple. So not a big deal. And this is what it looks like installed on the motorcycle.
Beautiful.
Believe it or not, just this little bit of extra pad. There is foam in these little ridges.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference when you sit on it.
Oh, yeah.
You can feel it even just with your hand.
Yeah, he's right.
A little extra cushion.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got our Alpha quick shifter installed, the correctly numbered seat cover, and we're cruising right along. We got some cool other parts that'll be coming up. We got a little delay on our front brake because we made a change.
Yes.
You might see it in the background. I don't know.
Oh, yes, there it
be
is.
Sneaky about it.
Oh, there it is. We're going to use red calipers now with black writing, Brembo calipers. Yeah.
Here's what they look like on a motorcycle.
They look gorgeous on a
That
motorcycle.
looks like a Ducati, but
Yeah.
it'll look just as good on our double R.
Heck yeah, even better.
So yeah, we're cruising right along now, and we've got some more fun stuff coming up hopefully next week, so we'll see you then.
All right, thank you, Zach. You heard the man. Lots of cool parts are going to be installed into this S1000RR, making it very unique and original and fast, of course, with the Brin tuning and the Alpha Racing quick shifter. It's going to reduce your quick shift and auto blip speeds. You can still enter to win by clicking on the link below and join our Patreon family for your chance to possibly win this motorcycle. All right, folks, thanks so much for viewing, and we'll catch you next time on the 650 EV YouTube channel.